Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and welcome back to the Fangoria Movie Challenge. This is the segment I've been doing with my good buddy Joe the Horror Man, where we're not only going to watch, but also review all 101 movies Fangoria thinks we should have seen. Today we're going to be talking about The Borrower. The Borrower is a 1991 film which runs approximately 92 minutes and is directed by John McNaughton. Now, he was responsible for Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, The Harvest, and Wild Things. Now, this stars Rae Dawn Chong as Diana Pierce. She was in The Color Purple, Quest for Fire, and probably my favorite movie that she's in is Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger. This also stars Don Gordon as Charles Krieger. He passed away on April 24th, 2017 at the age of 90. He was in Bullet, The Towering Inferno, and The Exorcist 3. And Tom Towles as Bob Laney. Now, he passed away on April 2nd, 2015 at the age of 65. He was in Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, Night of the Living Dead, the remake, and Fortress. Now, this film had a budget of $2 million, and it actually sat on the shelf for 2 years before completion and release. This has a super simple story, and in some ways I think it was a little too simplistic. What you have in the beginning, and this set the tone right away, and I was into it from start to finish. You have an alien who has a prisoner on his ship. And apparently his prisoner is a heinous alien that looks like a human being. So they end up on Earth and they get in a scuffle and the prisoner gets away. Now, as I said, the prisoner looks like we do. So he is able to rip the head off of his victims and take on their bodies and personas and so on and so forth. And it's up to Rae Dawn Chong, who plays Diana Pierce. She is a police officer, and it's her job to stop this alien. And, of course, you have the whole thing where no one believes it is an alien, and, they go through that whole rigmarole. What did I think of this film? I thought, first of all, I like John McNaughton's films. I think he's a really good director. I do have some cons for this film, but I'll go into the pros first. The acting is fun. The movie has a fun tone to it. The soundtrack is awesome, and it fits the movie fantastically, if that's even a word. The gore is amazing. There are some incredible practical effects in this film, some that really, really impressed me. And like I said before, and I wanted to stress this, the tone of this movie is a lot of fun. It's a fun movie. Now I'm going to get to the cons, and this is where it's going to, when I end up doing a ranking of all the Fangoria Movie Challenge films that we are reviewing, this is where it's going to kind of take a little bit of a dive. And that is the story. While I like the story, it feels unfinished. The ending is abrupt, and it just doesn't feel like a finished film. Maybe that's because it sat on a shelf for 2 years, but there's something that just feels off about the film, like it just wasn't completed. I myself would have taken the sort of like the Critters approach and had the alien maybe hunting the prisoner along with maybe the police officers from Earth, not exactly doing it together, but kind of at the same time. I think that would have made a little bit better of a overall film. It would have given it a little bit more to grasp onto, because there are certain things in this movie that don't feel like they have any purpose in the film. Certain things feel like filler. And I know to a certain degree when you have a 90-minute film or a 92-minute film, I believe this is, you have to have a certain amount of filler. But like I said, there's things that just don't feel like they serve a purpose in the film. Some things I didn't feel like they served a purpose, and then they ended up serving a purpose. So, but like I said, it does feel unfinished, and I think if they had added a little bit more to it, it would have been a better film. As it stands, I think it's a lot of fun to watch. I don't know how often I'm going to be revisiting it, but I really enjoyed it. So, what to recommend for this one? I like to recommend movies that are a little off the beaten track, and the only thing I could think of that, besides what Joe's probably going to recommend, is Jeepers Creepers. And to me, that was too popular and not enough of a, not obscure film, but at least one that somebody doesn't talk about all the time. So I'm going to go with another one of John McNaughton's movies and recommend The Harvest. This movie is more of a thriller than a horror movie in some ways, but the subject matter is very, very dark in this film. But it's very good. You have Michael Shannon in this, and I can't remember her name. Samantha Morton? I don't know. I did review this with The Last Shoegazer, and I love this film. This has a very dark tone to it, and it's definitely worth a watch. So check out The Borrower, check out The Harvest, and don't forget to check out Joe's review and see what he picked. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.